Great. The ladder. It's just a little more walking. Then we'll see if you're rabbit or man. Surface. Put your mask on. With looking at my ass, it's way out of your reach, rabbit. Give me a hand here.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Death Wish Studios. Today we're going to bring you Metro Last Light, and this game has pretty good graphics. However, the first Metro, whenever I played it, it was good. However, I didn't really enjoy it much because it was kind of confusing with the dark ones and all this other creatures running around. Pretty much all I figured out was that you just needed to get to a point, and then towards the end you got to a tower, etc., etc. This one pretty much leads off with from whenever you ended up in part 1. Now, the only thing I did not like about Metro 2033, which was the first one, was that the graphics and DirectX 11 and the physics and everything, if you put DirectX 10 and then you turned everything down to where it was playable, it wasn't much difference in graphics. There wasn't any, it wasn't like a huge, oh man, look at this huge difference. There wasn't something that eye-popping. And Metro Last Light is the same exact thing. I turned it down from, this is running at very high, everything is maxed out except for the AA. I only have it at 2 times AA because it's unplayable at 3 times and at 4 times AA, extremely unplayable. I can't, when everything's turned up to very high. So I'm getting 8-10 frames per second. And I guess that's something to do with the game, because, or maybe the NVIDIA has to update the drivers, because for me to have 3 GTX 680s at 4 gigs of video RAM each, I understand I'm running at 5760 by 1080. However, these cards can run Crysis 3 for God's sakes with no problems at 8 times AA, I believe it is, or 4 times AA, something like that. A lot more than this. And whenever I turn it, I play normally. This is just to show you guys what I played at, or what the cards are capable of. However, I play this game at high resolution, or at not very high settings, but at high settings, and you can't tell really much difference at all in the game or any kind of graphics difference. So NVIDIA has to update drivers, or Metro needs to update something. Something needs to happen. Again, this is all my opinion, so you can go out and buy the game and check it out for yourself. However, to me, the game is not. It's a good game. It's got a good storyline. Don't get me wrong, but the graphics are not next generation like people are saying. Maybe for still photos. Maybe if you take a picture of it and be like, "Whoa, look at the difference between this and this." Yeah, but I'm not gonna sit there when I'm shooting things and killing things and say, "Whoa, look, this rock looks a little bit different than this rock on very high settings." I'm not interested in that. I'm interested more in the gameplay and in very distinct visuals. So that's my opinion on Metro Last Light. Once again, bottom left corner, we have the frames per second, what we're running at, how much memory is being used, and the temperature of the cards, etc., etc. The right hand side, we have the CPU information. Now you can see on the left hand side that the cards are only being used 50%. Only 50% of the cards, and only 1200 megabytes are being used of the video memory, which is terrible. So I'm guessing that the drivers need to be updated, and they need to utilize the card a lot more to be able to get the playable frame rates. Whenever I play it on high, I'm getting 20, 25 frames per second, which is playable. However, whenever I play it on high, which you can't tell much difference in graphics, actually I can't see any difference at all. I'm getting about 35 to 40 frames per second, which that's a lot better than this, what I'm getting here. So that being said, the game itself, not too bad. I wouldn't, there's a couple twists and turns here that I was just not expecting, but I haven't beaten it yet, so I don't know what the ending is, but I've gotten pretty far into it. All I know so far is pretty much this is the beginning of the level right here. I think this is the second level, and you can't really, I mean, basically you have some kind of connection with the Dark Ones. That's all I got so far. So it doesn't really ruin anything because it's the beginning of the game that it says it. So, well, that's about it, guys and girls. That you know, here's Metro Last Light. Well, I'm gonna let the video play out. That way, you guys can see what the frames per second are and what kind of dialogue comes after it. All right. Well, please rate and comment. That way, I can bring you better videos in the future. And if you think I should make any other games or anything like that, let me know, and I'll try my best to make it happen. All right, guys. Well, this is Deathwish signing out. Peace.
The third one looks like a ranger of the order. A mutant the size of a child was caught near him. It was delivered to Reich as well.
I'll deal with it later. This one.
Suspected mutation.
No, I'm normal. See, 2 arms, 2 legs, 10 fingers. Don't you understand? I'm a Hansa citizen.
Shut up!
You're not in Hansa. Here you are a suspect in the distribution of corrupted genes. And this is your trial. If your skull has the correct proportions, you are free to go. If not, you are an abomination. Science, you see.
This is an outrage!
I told you to stay still!
Well?
Let's see. 318 millimeters by 302.
Let's look it up in the table. Ah, congratulations. You're a mutant.
No, wait!
To the garbage chute. A simple question. What was your mission in the gardens?
Go to hell yourself, Nazi!
I'm gonna count to 3. 1.
Glory to the Red Line!
2.
Long live Comrade Mothpin!
3.
Please, I'll talk. But away from the other side. They'll kill me if they hear. Okay?
Take this one to the 2nd unit. Usually, Reich does not interfere with the Order's business. But here, we have you, the Reds, and the Freak, all caught in the same net. I do not like it. So talk, or take a bullet to the brain.
Get the officer! You! Here. You keep the knife. Keep it. So, you're with the Spartan Order? I'm from the Red Line. Our superiors are not on the best of terms, huh? But I say fuck that. Oh, fuck that. The grunts stick together, huh? Давай. I see. Ух ты смотри. Remotely controlled lock. One thing's for sure. Our only chance of getting out of this alive, work together. Right. Now, what did they say about the garbage chute? Okay, let's get our asses out of this place, then we'll go our separate ways. Huh?